Here we are at Core Public House in Springdale, just one of the many tap rooms around Northwest Arkansas where you can find incredible offerings from Core Brewing Company. So let's head on over to the brewery and see what does it take to make this wonderful beer.
First of all, I'm a seventh-generation Arkansan, and I'm very proud to be from Arkansas. But my career took me to beer destinations like Boulder and San Diego for nearly a decade. And when I came back home, I had the opportunity to start this company because I wanted to do something that the community would embrace. I just really love this state. I'm very proud to be from here.
Brett here at Core Brewing, and I'm with Chris, Director of Sales and Marketing.
Yes, sir.
Chris, cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Always gotta have. E-Stop, check it out.
Ouachita No Coast IPA.
I still think E-Stop, check it out. But yes, if you want to as well, so competition. Anyway, what is so important about having a craft beer movement in Northwest Arkansas?
Well, there's several reasons. One, it stimulates the local economy. As everybody knows, the movement is to go back to local, which is smart. But more importantly, we as craft brewers and in this business are kind of modern day pirates. We're going against everything that we're told. Oh, beer needs to be this way. No, you can do so many things with beer. Why not? Right? That's the question. We don't ask that question. We just do it.
So it's about pushing boundaries. What is your audience doing? How are they responding to this with the new beers that you guys are bringing out and just your overall culture and attitude?
Very well, very well. We've had a lot of positive feedback from all of our new beers. Obviously, it's an evolving market. We change things up a lot. We just recently refreshed a lot of our offerings, went away from some things that we've been brewing for a very long time, just because the consumer wanted something new, and we gave it to them. Our Ouachita No Coast IPA is our #1 selling beer right now, and it came out 2 months ago. As pale ales, you know, there's East Coast, there's West Coast. There's no coast in Arkansas, so we have no coast. That's a little in between. Just doing stuff fun, innovative, new, exciting. It's an exciting time to be in this business because we can do so many things.
Right. And it seems like it's all about fun, you know, and it's beer. It's not, well, I would say it's not rocket science, but there is quite a bit of science behind the whole process that we're going to find out about. And how do you guys keep Core fresh? And how do you bring in new people into the culture, the Core culture, so to speak?
We've got an amazing team. Our brewers are some of the best in the industry. They keep up to date with trends and the things that are happening. These guys keep pushing that envelope and coming out with fun new stuff.
What would you say to someone that's maybe on the fence? I don't know if I'm a craft beer person or not. You know, I don't like the dark beers or, you know, the usual arguments you hear against things when they really don't, there isn't that understanding of what this movement is about. Sell it.
I would say come into a Core pub, talk to one of our pub leads. They're amazing, they're knowledgeable, they're all Cicerone certified beer servers, and let them guide you down the path. It's a very fun path. Once you take that first step, you'll find stuff that you never thought you'd like. You don't like IPAs? We've got an IPA that you'll love, I promise. You need a shepherd.
A shepherd. Nice. Well said. Chris, he's a master of words. Cheers again, Chris. All right, thank you so much. Core Brewing Company, check us out. Hey everybody, meet Ron. Ron is the head brewer here at Core Brewing Company. Nice to meet you, Ron. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
You bet.
So, we're in a room here where I'm guessing we're going to taste some beers. And we were chatting earlier about, we have core beers and flagship beers everywhere we go. But then a lot of times, you know, when we want to introduce a new style or a new flavor or a new something, what's the inspiration for that? I mean, what's the process that we get to when we're...
So what this room is, it was formerly the original tap room for Core Brewing when the brewery was here proper. However, what it has become now is kind of our brewer's sample room. So what we do is we've got 3 brewers, myself, Rodrigo, and Alton. And what we do is we have personal preferences and beer styles that we like. So what we do is we try to come up with recipes that either are very historically correct traditional beers or some new experimental stuff with some hop varieties that may be hard to get, so we may do a one-off. But more recently, we've kind of have this internal competition, the Battle of the Brewers. So what we're doing here is, one of those is Imperial Stout. That one happens to be mine. That is the Mexican Chocolate Stout.
Mexican chocolate stout, okay.
It's made with cacao nibs, guajillo, ancho, and habanero peppers. It's an Imperial Stout base, so it's really good. The other thing is we've recently, or let's say last quarter, we did a double IPA competition, and that is the double IPA. That one will eventually go into production. So back to kind of what we do as far as designing new beers. Like I said, we will come up with recipes. As the head brewer, I'm not necessarily the final say-so, but what I'd like to do with the brewers set is come up with your recipe. Let's check it out. Let's see how feasible it is. Is it going to be cost effective? How is it going to be difficult to make? Is it going to be a fussy beer to drink later on? Does it have to be served at a certain temperature? So we kind of use this room as the experimentation room and kind of figure out before it actually goes somewhere else.
Get it dialed in, get it set. So, and Ron was obviously just explaining, the competition, internally here, but how much influence comes from, say, beer styles that are popular at any given point, like on the West Coast, the East Coast, things along those lines, and we're trends, because you never want things to be trendy, but hey, sometimes there's fun things that come out in the mix. So how does that come into play?
Exactly. So what we do, Rodrigo is my assistant brewer. He's considered the lead brewer, but he's a young man. I could old enough to be his dad. I try to make sure that I correct him when needed, but he is a definite New England style IPA guy. I'm obviously older than him. I grew up drinking IPAs and enjoying West Coast style. So what we do is we make fun of each other, and that's what kind of starts and cultivates the competition. So he says that his New England IPA is better than my West Coast, and I'll say the reverse. And then what we do is we come up with recipes, and then that's kind of how it started. Of course, Alton, he's from South Texas. He's a very experienced brewer. And then Jesse, so Jesse is highly competitive. So you put Roddy and I bantering against each other, Jesse in the mix, and Alton, who's considered the dude, he'll just do whatever. He's like, all right, we're gonna have a competition? Sure, I'll do it. So that's kind of how it got started, and it's elevated from there, but we're trying to push the envelope every time we do another competition. So it started off with IPAs, now it's going to stouts, then it's going to go to lagers, and it's going to go to something, something, something. So we're always, as far as the pubs are concerned, going to have good beer styles coming out. They may not be very popular, but it helps.
You got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
You have to try something. So
it satisfies our needs instead of. Again, we're brewing beer, so it should be fun, and that's what we're trying to do, is enjoy what we do.
Well, thanks for sharing with us, Ron. I mean, it's interesting to kind of know, where the inspiration comes from for a lot of these brews and how you get to that point. I think a lot of people have wondered that in the past, so appreciate your time. Cheers.
We used to be more focused on possibly growth, but now we've kind of reinvigorated our brand to really what we're wanting to do is just produce fun new beers, fun new products for our community, and continue to make our public houses a place that you could go and relax and meet some friends and just enjoy some good product in a really relaxing atmosphere.
So what do you guys think? Core Brewing Company, one of the first brewers in the area. They still brew with passion, energy, and they're always coming up with new things. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go find one for myself right now. I know what you're talking about with the stuff, but let the record show that was not me.